Happy Sunday. Hope you've had a wonderful day so far, although chilly. So we're going to continue to see our first alert weather forecast play out going into your Monday morning. So let's go ahead and hop into the forecast at the moment. Temperatures right now are in those 20s and have been for a lot of us. We do have a couple areas around Muscle Shoals in the 30s, but we've been at around 28 to 29 all day here in Huntsville. Meridianville starting to stair step into those lower end 20s, seeing some 23s there. Our Tennessee communities already at 21, 23, and lots of us are still in the mid and upper 20s. We're seeing 27s and 28s around the forecast so far. So here's our cold weather alert. This is starting this evening into Monday morning, and I believe it's going to be a little extended to around 8 and 9 o'clock because we still see some single digit feel like temperatures in the forecast, but the wind chill values are single digit. That's the biggest concern here, right? And it's going to be really cold. If you didn't bundle up or you didn't get out today, it's chilly. Definitely bundle up. I had one of my heavier jackets on, and I heavily considered walking back in my home, getting a scarf and maybe a hat and some gloves maybe, especially if you've got students that have to stand out and wait for the bus tomorrow. This is definitely an opportunity for you to make sure they are bundled up as best as possible. It's just going to be really, really chilly. Highs for tomorrow, though, getting back into the 40s. So once we get through this blast of cold air, this chilly spell that we've got going right now, we'll see some temperatures getting back into the 40s, and our week will be back to a normal, somewhat normal December week. We'll do a little bit of a rinse and repeat from last week as well. I'll show you that in a moment. Our alert day impacts are at the medium range on our scale just because of those colder temperatures. This is as cold as it's been so far for this particular season. Haven't reached any record-breaking cold temperatures yet, but wind chills, single digits, like I mentioned. Definitely want to make sure you're protecting pets, plants, property, anything that is going to be susceptible to the cold overnight, especially as we go into the evening. I would say in the next hour or two, go ahead and keep that on your radar. Go ahead and take care of what you need to with that. Wind gusts expected to be around 15 to 20 miles per hour. That's what's making those wind chill values sit quite low because of how strong those wind gusts are. Thankfully, no ice and snow expected, no wintry mix of precipitation, none of that. So we're just dealing with the cold weather of the air. No snow, no ice, no sleet, no freezing rain, grapple, anything in between, none of it. But dress in layers. Like I mentioned, it's chilly. Our low for tomorrow morning is around 14 degrees. And that is typed correctly, 14. So definitely start streaming faucets tonight. Bring your outdoor pets inside, at least in the garage. Put a blanket over their kennel, wherever they lay their head at night. You definitely want to take care of those. And if you have some plants that are susceptible to some cooler temperatures, I'm not too plant savvy, but if we have some folks in the chat that know some things about, gardening and whatnot, give us some ideas, some things that people should start thinking about doing right about now into the rest of our evening, because it's only getting colder from here. So here's our future feels like single digits in the next hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, right around 6 o'clock, we'll start to feel those single digits back in the forecast. And then as we go through the rest of the night, most of us drop into the lower end of the tens, so to say, not the teens, the tens. As you get to your Monday morning, we start to see 5 feel like temperatures. Oh, it is brutal tomorrow morning. We don't see double digits back into the forecast until 8 a.m. tomorrow. And this is for feels like. So this is what it's going to feel like outside. That's not going to be 5 degrees. It just feels like 5 degrees. So let's make sure we keep that at the front of our minds. 16 is what it'll feel like at 8 a.m. tomorrow as I'm getting ready to head into work. My heat will be working overtime. Oh my goodness. Chilly conditions, especially if you take your dogs out to go to the restroom in the mornings. Not sure why my 41 wants to stay down there, but whatever. If you take your pets out to go to the restroom in the mornings, definitely make sure that they have something on their feet as well. It's kind of the reverse from what we deal with in the summer, when their paws are on the concrete and it's too hot, when it's too cold. They're very sensitive to that, so make sure they have proper coverage or keep them in the grass. Try and steer clear of taking them on any concrete if they don't have the proper footwear for it. Now, bigger dogs, they might be fine, like your huskies, for example. They're used to this. But my little bitty toy poodle, I honestly think she might go outside and like freeze to death. So here's what we're looking at for tomorrow, though. Seeing those teens in our forecast to start the day off. 14 is our low tomorrow, so keep that in mind. Going through the rest of the day, we don't see 30s until around early noon, afternoon hours. 41s are high, not going to see that till about 4 o'clock. And then we get back to the 30s after sunset. So very chilly day all around. Here's our temperature change. We have a lot of areas that are about 35 to 40 degrees cooler than they were this time yesterday. That is a big drop, you know, and that's what also makes it a first alert weather day for us, because that cool air has just, snapped. Like, this is truly a cold snap, because we had highs of about 58 to 60 yesterday. It was warm. Lots of folks saw some good weather, and then overnight it's like we went from June to January in the span of 24 hours. So that's another reason we give you first alert weather days, because we want you to be aware of a major drastic change in the forecast. It's winter, but think of it as the way that we give you first alert weather days for heat advisories, right? When we have cold weather advisories, we're going to do the same. It's just in reverse. Both uncomfortable, just in a very different way. Neither one is better than the other to me. I'm like, if it's really hot or it's really cold, Jayda's unhappy. So here's what we're looking at. Tuesday is not a first alert weather day. I need to make sure I take that off. And I thought I did. I'm not sure why it's still there. Strange. Because I did change our Havoc stuff. But disregard Tuesday as a first alert. It's not first alert. We get back into our semi-normal forecast, do a little bit of a rinse and repeat from what we saw last week. We start the week off chilly, frigid, cold. By the end of the week, back in the 60s. That's December for you. Make sure you get out to the Havoc games. These are the last 2 of the 3 games that they have before their Christmas break. They'll be back the day after Christmas, but these 2 are at home for Thursday and Friday. Could pick up some shower chances on Thursday. We're looking at about 30 to 40%. Very low end chance as of right now. Could possibly be dried out as well. There's a possibility of that. Looks like it might dry out, but mostly sunny conditions to get back into the weekend. As you can see, we take a drop from 62 on Thursday to 54. Another cold front moves through. Thankfully, not as strong as what we've got on the back end, what we're on the back end of right now. So getting to the weekend, back in the 60s, 63 to 65. And you'll look at the next week, and you'll notice 60s are all around. This is leading up to Christmas. Yes, I believe so. I'm almost positive that's leading up to Christmas. I'll make sure my dates are right before I tell you all the wrong thing. All right, so okay. Wednesday is Christmas Eve, that following Wednesday. You can see that 64. It's gonna be a warm Christmas. So instead of a white Christmas, we'll have Melikilikimaka, which is the Hawaiian way to say Merry Christmas to you. It's one of my favorite Christmas songs. But yes, very kind of uncharacteristic conditions, but it's December. This is kind of our wild card of the weather forecast. So with that being said, we're getting ready to gear up for our 5 o'clock, so I hope you'll tune in then and have a great rest of your Sunday. Stay warm, you guys.